So this question is, to what extent is climate change the result of human actions? Use the photographs and your own understanding. This is from the 2021 AQA paper 1. I'm going to have a good answer in it. So straight away, I have already boxed our command words. To what extent? This requires us to make an opinion, or to give an opinion, or make a decision on what is more important. It says here the climate change is the result of human actions. Use the photographs and your own understanding. Really important that we do that to access the 9 marks. Importantly, there is 3 marks available for spelling, punctuation, and grammar on this question on the 2021 paper. So looking at the images, okay, we've got fossil fuel production burning here, and we've got volcanic activity. So straight away, we know we need to talk about fossil fuel burning and volcanic activity. Now, even though the question asks us about human actions, it's to what extent. So we have to talk about the physical as well as the human. So we need to talk about human and physical. But to what extent requires us to make a decision on which of those is the biggest contributor to climate change. The first thing we're going to do, we're going to say that human actions are very significant causes of climate change. That could be our introduction. We're then going to talk about, in paragraph 1, what are the human causes of climate change. So paragraph 1, we'll talk about burning fossil fuels. So when we burn things like coal, gas, or oil, this releases carbon dioxide into the atmosphere. Now, this obviously thickens the atmosphere and traps heat inside it. That leads to a warmer climate. Now, that's one that we've used from our picture. We then need to introduce our own understanding. So I think the most obvious cause of climate change is deforestation. So that's what I'm going to do next. So I'm going to talk about deforestation. When we cut down trees, we remove a carbon sink or a stall. When we do that, there is less carbon dioxide that has been stored. So there's fewer stores, or there's less being absorbed of CO2. That then again leads to the thickening of the atmosphere and trapping in heat. Now we need to give on the other hand. So in paragraph 2, I'm going to talk about the physical factors. So we could say that these are human and these are physical. The physical factors, the first one that's mentioned here is volcanic eruptions. So that's what we'll start off with. So when a volcano erupts, it will often release CO2. Which in turn thickens the atmosphere, trapping heat, leading to global warming. We also have the opposite there that can happen. So we can have on a shorter scale or short term, we can have the ash blocking the sun. And we can have short-term cooling. Important if you mention that we do talk about the short term. Another natural or physical cause of climate change is solar output. So we can talk about sunspots. When it's increased, we have more energy reaching Earth, and that equals our warmer climate. If there was less solar output, then we would obviously see a cooler climate. Now, we've got all of our ingredients there that we need. We've put them into the right order. We've got them. We now need a conclusion. So our conclusion, it's to what extent is climate change the result of human activities? You could say human activities are the cause to a large extent. However, there are impacts from the physical world. You need to make that decision, okay? So this is your judgment. How important are the human factors? If I was answering that question, I would say that human actions are incredibly important causes of climate change. I would even say that we have accelerated climate change if you've got any facts and figures there to add in. Okay, if you do all that, we're looking at 9 marks. And if you write it well, making sure you've got your clear paragraphs, you've used full sentences, your capital letters when you need them, then you should be getting 3 for SPAG as well.